There we go. Hey, good afternoon. I'm here to talk about situated learning with mobile devices, part 2. This is the second installment of this project that we began about 2010, and the intent was and still is, oops, too much. There we go. What is it? All right, the intent here is an ongoing project to introduce technologies into the classroom, technologies in social media, mobile technologies. That would include such things as iPads, iPhones, that sort of a thing, and the use of social media such as Twitter and anything else that happens to come along. Now, this term, the project involved approximately half a dozen faculty who were given devices and asked to implement it some way in the classroom. Now, as this went on, what we realized there was something missing. We were starting to get feedback from the students, but we realized we didn't have any feedback from the students. What was the students' perception of all this? So for today, all I want to talk about is what we did to gain that information, we'll say. So what we did is we surveyed 517 students. So I'd walk into a classroom and say, right, I'm here to talk about mobile learning. This is what it is. If you don't mind, can we fill out a survey? And more than one student said, do you realize you're handing out a paper survey when you're promoting mobile learning? I said, yes, I realize that, and the learning's not lost on me, but at least I've got you here. So, anyway, so the returns were very good in that regard. So what we did is we put together 5 questions. And the first question really was, what's your perception of mobile learning? Is it a beneficial thing for your learning experience? And you can see from the results that, for the most part, it's a positive aspect. Most students would agree. Yes, we know what this is now. We realize that this is important or potentially important. So we'll call those results positively optimistic. Then the second question we went on to was actually applying it in the classroom. So the question basically was, are you willing to sacrifice part of your classroom, whether it's a lecture, a lab, that sort of thing, to engage in a mobile learning exercise? And for the most part, yeah, sure, the students, more or less, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Then we asked them, the next question was, would you participate in the same sort of exercise? Would you agree that a classroom should include this sort of thing if it meant more work, if it was in addition to? Well, that's where things got a little different. And you can see the results are not so positive, which is perfectly understandable. Then the fourth question had to do with the use of their own devices. And I should preface this by saying that the most comments we had involved this question, and it was, what if I don't have one? How do you expect me to use my device to engage in your particular course? Now, most students, they agree, yeah, this is not a problem. I guess they're used to using them. They have them. They use them in class anyway. And so for the most part, again, we'll say the results are positive. Now, the last question was, is this an important aspect of learning? In future, do you consider this a valuable teaching tool? Would you expect to see this in the classroom? And again, there's the results. So 517 students, this is the kind of engagement we got. These are the results. Do they really mean a whole lot? I think they reflect the attitudes of most of the instructors who have been involved in this, is that they're cautiously optimistic. So we took it a step further. We went to a focus group. We asked 3 classes. We looked at 3 classes and we said, all right, we filled out the survey. Let's sit down and talk about what this means. And it was just kind of an open forum. Now, the first comment, yeah, that, again, I think that really does demonstrate the apprehension of this. But the second 2 comments were much more informative. The one thing we introduced, for example, we could say, all right, what exactly does this mean? What might this look like? We can take a traditional paper copy, an assignment, a map, a lab. We can give it to you anywhere you want, anytime you want, in electronic format. And the comment I heard over and over again, well, how does that make it any better? And again, fair enough. But the one comment that I heard most often was that students did not want to lose the personal contact. They realized that yes, technology has its place, but it's not a replacement. It can enhance things, but they did not want to lose the personal contact, not only between the students themselves, but more importantly, between the instructors. And that, again, was a very important thing. So, I want to conclude then by saying that the project is ongoing. We hope to implement, engage more faculty in the project. We hope that we can come up with a better understanding of how this may or may not work, but so far I'd like to leave you with this, is that the opportunities, if they are to occur, they must be new, they must be unique, and they must be focused towards a new particular aspect for the students. Otherwise, it's just the same old thing in a new format. So I'll leave you with that then. Thank you very much.